Where are the Methodist archives for Southeast Europe? If you are curious about where to find the Methodist archives related to Southeast Europe, you are in for an informative journey. The Methodist archives for this region are not located in a single dedicated place. Instead, they are part of larger collections that document the activities of the Methodist Church across Europe and beyond. The United Methodist Church in Central and Southern Europe is a key player in this context. This church serves around 30,000 members across 13 countries, including Albania, North Macedonia, Romania, and Serbia. The church is active in preserving its history and records. However, these archives are generally managed within the organizational structure of the United Methodist Church in Europe. For those interested in the missionary work of Methodists, the Wesleyan Methodist Missionary Society Archive is another important resource. This archive includes records of missionary activities in Europe and other regions. While it covers a broad range of missionary work, it contains materials relevant to early Methodist missions in Southeast Europe. These archives are housed in the United Kingdom and provide historical documentation of Methodist expansion efforts. When it comes to Methodist archival materials, the main repositories are located in the United Kingdom. Notable centers include the Methodist Archives and Research Centre at the University of Manchester Library and the Oxford Centre for Methodism and Church History. These centers hold extensive collections on the history of Methodism globally and may include documents related to Southeast European Methodism, especially from the perspective of British missionary activities. Currently, there is no dedicated archive solely for Methodist history in Southeast Europe. Instead, historical materials are integrated into larger Methodist collections either in Europe or in the United Kingdom. Researchers looking into Southeast European Methodist history will likely need to consult these broader archives or contact the United Methodist Church offices that oversee the region. For those researching Methodist history in Southeast Europe, a practical approach is to reach out to the United Methodist Church's Central and Southern Europe regional offices. They can provide guidance on accessing local records. Additionally, inquiries can be made to the Methodist Archives and Research Centre in Manchester or the Oxford Centre for Methodism for historical missionary records. Collaborating with local Methodist congregations in Southeast Europe may also yield access to church records and oral histories that are not formally archived. In summary, the Methodist archives relevant to Southeast Europe are part of wider collections held by the United Methodist Church in Central and Southern Europe and major Methodist archival centers in the United Kingdom. There is no single, centralized archive exclusively for Southeast European Methodism, so research involves consulting multiple institutions and church bodies connected to the region.